Wilcox?
Let me begin by suggesting that the clearest evidence of racism in education is the essential control over black education, both in so-called integrated settings and in segregated settings, by white people, many of whom are incapable of responding to the people they're educating as people, many of whom are incapable of understanding the culture and the history of the people they're educating, many of whom really do not see any kind of responsibility for involving these communities in managing their own education. The second kind of aspect is the ability of white communities to keep black people out of their communities and still yet exercise some influence over the education in black communities. That is, even when there's no blacks in the white community, whites are still having some kind of influence over the education in black communities. A third example is the way in which our schools are organized. Despite the fact that we know we live in a racist society, the schools continue to be organized as though racism does not exist. That is, there's been no real shift of power within the school. There's been no effective change in the content. There's been no forthright recognition of the politics involved in education. For instance, in New York City, about 55% of the students are black and Puerto Rican, yet we have one black and one Puerto Rican member on a school board of 5 people. So 3 white people are making decisions that affect 55% of people whom they may not be able to respect as people.
Look what happened to desegregation. We're 50 years into Brown, and we've resegregated. Why? Because white people don't like black people and don't want to live with them and sure don't want to go to school with them.
And that's not good.
I mean, please, just deal with it. Deal with it. Decentralization didn't work. Why didn't decentralization work? It didn't work because there was not enough money to implement it, and taxpayers don't want to pay any more money to educate, and not, at least not black people in the center cities. So you know, anywhere you go, but I don't even want you to deal with the what do you call it, anecdotal knowledge. I want you to deal with the studies. How about the study that they did at Northwestern, where the students sent out applications for jobs using names, black names and white names? How about that one? So Lakeisha Washington and Jamal Jones didn't get the job, but Brendan Fraser and Emily Walsh did? I mean, now how much clearer can you be that whiteness is important?
But then what do you say to a young black person in terms of, yeah, education is worth it, you gotta get out there and the kinds of things that your mother used to say to you about get as educated as you can and you can beat the system?
It's not going to work. That's why these kids aren't doing anything in school. Don't you understand? They understand you're a big liar. And the other thing is, we're not doing anything about it. The preachers aren't doing anything about it. The teachers aren't doing anything about it. NAPSI's not doing anything about it. NAACP's not doing anything about it. The Urban League's not doing anything about it. Why? Because the topic is politically incorrect and must be sanitized.
Even at the expense of their own children's education.
It is done so. That's what's happening right now, right here, this minute. We don't have the courage that our people had during Jim Crow. Where is the Ida B. Wells? Where is the Mary McLeod Bethune? Where are they? We don't have the courage that our ancestors had.
Why not? It would seem that it doesn't take as much courage to step out there and fight the battles.
But it does.
It does?
Oh, yeah.